Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States of America, Barack Obama.
Now, it was such a big bleeping deal then. Why no birthday party 2 years to the day? Well, you know what we thought? We thought if they're not going to have a party, we thought we would. Thank you, Daniel.
Quite well.
Is it what? Do we know what flavor cake this is, Dan?
I do not know, but I'm sure it's delicious.
But didn't you order it?
No, I did not. The intern.
We sent the intern. Okay. Well, Dan thinks that that's going to be something we share, but we thought, did you notice in Washington, no one, not a peep out of anyone, to celebrate this milestone, 2 years of this health care, law, monstrosity, depending on your point of view. Betsy McCoy here, she still has right next to this wonderful cake the law itself.
I think the flavors are the first year we got the premium hikes. This year we're getting the tax hikes. And then the frosting on the cake will be 2014 when the mandatory insurance plans come into effect.
And then we get burnt.
And then a lot of people lose their employer-based health coverage.
So 2 years, why aren't they whooping it up? This is their big crowning achievement.
Well, the fact is the polls show that as many Americans oppose this law today as the very day it was signed into law. The public outrage has been sustained over that long a time.
But this is the president's signature accomplishment. You could say what you will about it, but it is a major landmark piece of legislation that became law.
A majority of states in the United States are heading toward a constitutional showdown in the Supreme Court next Monday.
Well, there's a 3-day hearing, right?
That's right, an unprecedented 3 days of hearings, and to get this law declared unconstitutional.
But is this law already baked into the cake, so to speak? In other words, that the Supreme Court might not decide this black and white, that it might kind of punt?
There's a small possibility. The more likely possibility is that they will decide on the two major individual issues. One is the individual mandate. Can the federal government require all Americans, just by virtue of being residents of this country, to buy a product, in this case health insurance? And not only that, but as part of that product, empower the federal government to dictate how doctors treat patients once they're in those plans.
But do you think it's gotten so entraped into our system that it's immovable?
No. The states have been asked to set up state insurance exchanges, but many of them have not done that yet. They've delayed it. Some have even sent the money back.
You think it can be ripped out?
Yes. Actually, all
that's why they're not celebrating, because they fear that.
All that's gone into effect so far are a few very popular early provisions. One, eliminating the annual caps on how much your insurance company will pay if you're sick, lifting the lifetime caps. Another saying no co-pays and deductibles for
But the law itself, the mandatory, that might go by the wayside.
That might go by the wayside. And the other,
I don't think it is.
The other big piece that's being challenged this coming week is the vast expansion of Medicaid.
Gotcha. All right. I notice Dan is just hovering.
When are we going to cut this cake?
Well, I don't know. Dan is hovering here. Dan became famous here, guys. You might remember the famous Easy Bake Oven scene. So I suspect Dan actually baked this. Is that possible, Dan?
I did, but that was too last minute for me.
There is something to celebrate today.
What's that?
And that is, when the law was first passed, a reporter asked Nancy Pelosi, could this be unconstitutional? And she said, are you serious? Then there were just a few faint voices saying it's unconstitutional. Now, a majority of states, this country has gotten serious about the Constitution, and that is something to celebrate.
Sure. A lot of people suspect it was flaky from the start.